Hey guys, it's me, and today I'm here with a very dark and red look today. I know, I haven't done something this bold and like red in a very long time. It's been a long time since I've played with red eyeshadow, and I also played with some red colored mascara today too. So if you're wondering why my lashes aren't that exciting, that's why. But today I am here with a new installment of Am I Gonna Buy This? A monthly series in which I talk about the new product launches, releases, and announcements from the past month and talk about whether or not I am interested in picking up any of these new releases, if I'm not interested in picking them up, and just talking about them and giving my 2 cents on them. So March was a pretty busy month, I would say. I would say that there was a lot of product launches and announcements that happened over the month of March. And there's like one bit of news that we are going to be talking about today as well. I'll start out with that bit first and then we'll dive into product launches. But I think a lot of brands are finally starting to get into like full swing when it comes to like spring launches. They really started like going in with the spring launches this month. But we're going to go ahead and dive on into this because I'm going to try to make sure that this video doesn't turn out to be super long. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive on into this. But before we do so, if you guys are new here to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, and also while you're down there, definitely give this video a thumbs up because that'll help me out a lot. All my links are down in the description box below, and yeah, let's do this. The first thing that we are going to be talking about is some makeup news. And that bit of makeup news is that KVD has once again rebranded themselves. They are now just going by KVD Beauty instead of going by KVD Vegan Beauty, which honestly, I'm very happy that they are just sticking with KVD instead of having like a really obnoxiously long name, because the other name was just, like I said, obnoxiously long, and I think a lot of people just called them KVD Beauty even when they were referring to themselves as KVD Vegan Beauty. Now they are just simply going by KVD Beauty, but the KVD is still an acronym, and it stands for Cara Veritas Decors, which are Latin words, and they translate to value, truth, and beauty, which I already knew the translation to Veritas because, yeah, see that Camelot poster right there? That signed Camelot poster from when I saw them on the Silverthorne North American tour and also got to meet them because I had a VIP ticket. Best way to lose your concert virginity, in my opinion. They have a song on the Silverthorne album called Veritas, so I've known about Veritas for quite some time, and also like it's a very common Latin word that's used in a lot of symphonic metal songs that I listen to, and like I know it pops up a lot in Earthly Illusions by Diabolus and Musica. Love that song, one of my favorites off of Dirge of the Archons. But anyways, I'm really excited for KVD for making this rebranding and going through this and just going with something that's more simple with the name, but also they announced that they are going for more so like a tattoo inspired aesthetic and everything. So it's kind of like in a way going back to basics while still being their own separate thing. Also, I do want to quickly mention, because I'm seeing it in the viewfinder, there is a little bit of a red ring around here because I was going to try to wear a bright red lipstick today, but it just wasn't the right tone of red for the eyeshadow because this is like more pinky and everything, and the reds that I have are a little bit more orangey and everything. They're more warm, they're not blue based. So yeah, so wipe them off. I tried to clean it up as best as I could, but there might just be a little bit of pinkness just right around the rim. But yeah, that's annoying me, so I wanted to point that out. But anyways, I'm very happy that KVD is making like this rebranding, and they are going in this direction though, because it just makes a lot more sense considering like I said, it's like going back to basics for them. And I'll give you guys a quick little update on the Good Apple foundation that I talked about last month and I was really excited about and possibly wanted to try and everything. I have since learned that it is not the foundation for me because Taylor Wynn, I think that's what she's going by now here on YouTube. She used to go by the Taylor some time back, but she did a video like going over and reviewing that foundation, and she mentioned that like it just doesn't work for her and she has dry skin. But the thing is though, is that I'm pretty sure my skin is way drier than hers. So if it's not that good on her, it's gonna be absolutely dreadful on me. So yeah. And just learning that like it's actually a matte finish and it's supposed to be good for dry skin. It's very weird. It's very strange claims and everything. And so it's a foundation that I'm not going to be trying. I wish it was going to be something that was more beneficial for dry skin, but it just looks like it's not and everything. So yeah, but even if I was wanting to try it though, the foundation went viral on TikTok because part of KVD's marketing plans now is to reach out to like TikTokers and everything. And the foundation is completely sold out now because some TikToks went viral and people were using that foundation, and it is nowhere to be found now. So yeah, but anyways, let's go ahead and scooch on over and start talking about the new releases that happened this month. Things are gonna be a little bit out of order. I did film this video yesterday, and so I edited my list a little bit and everything with like removing certain posts and adding different posts for like the same launches. So things are going to be a little bit out of order here, but for the most part, we're going to be in order for this. First up, we have a collaboration with Hipdot, and it is between them and Peeps. And this was a collection that launched early enough to get here before Easter. I think this coming Sunday is Easter. I don't know. I haven't kept up with Christianity in a very, very long time, so I don't know. But this launched at the beginning of March though. And in here we have the 6-pan eyeshadow palette, which goes for $24, and then a four-piece makeup sponge set for $16. Wow. I was about to say I have been struggling to speak these last couple of days, and then I say wow, I'm struggling, so just bear with me on like the speaking aspect of things in this video. This is a cute collection. I remember really loving Peeps as a kid. Now as an adult, I don't like them at all. This palette is really cute. My issue with it though is that it's a $24 palette and it's a 6-pan palette. That is my only complaint with it. But like I said though, the color story is really pretty. And also I really love that the mirror is shaped like a bunny. Like I said, this is really cute. This is a really cute collection, but I'm not gonna get anything from this. I definitely want to try out Hipdot, but I think when I finally do try out the brand, it's gonna be me getting the Kesha palette, because I really like the color story in that palette, and I like the packaging for it. I think that it's like really unique and interesting, so I'll try that out at some point in time, but hopefully it's actually still available. I might have to get it soon because it might be getting discontinued soon because that palette's been out for a while. Next up we have a new launch, and I think this might be from a brand new brand, maybe like the first launch from this brand. I don't know. I do not know. But this is a palette from a brand called Makeup by Tammi Cosmetics, and it is the Chasing Butterflies palette, and this is a really cute palette. It's really pretty. It's a bit of a rainbow palette, kind of, sort of, in a way. And it's got a lot of bright colors in here with a couple of neutrals here and there. And it just looks really pretty. I like the packaging on it. It's really cute. I think Angelica Nyqvist did a video using this palette, or she's going to be doing a video using this palette. I don't know. But I'm really interested in this. But I will say this though, I wish that that orange was like a regular orange shade, because this is more so like a red orange / burnt orange. I don't know why it is so difficult to find like regular oranges in palettes these days, because it's like it's either way too neutral or it's like this where it's more of like a red. So yeah, that's my only complaint here with the color story. And that neon green, I really like it. I really want to try this palette out. Next up we have one of several ColourPop launches as usual. And this is the Cheek Dew Serum Blushes. There are 10 shades and they range from nudes, peaches, corals, mauves, and pinks. And they are formulated with hyaluronic acid, vitamin C, and vitamin E. I am very worried about these, just simply because I remember I got a serum foundation sample foundation sheet thingy from Sephora a while back, and it was vile. I did not like it whatsoever, and looking at the swatches, it's just making me think like this is going to be a very vile product as well. I'm sure there are going to be people that are going to really love these guys, but it is definitely not something for me. So I'm just going to stay away from it. I know I talked about how I love like cream and liquid products a lot, but that is just something I'm going to stay away from. Next up, we have a new collection from Decay. When I say it's collection, it's like multiple product launches and everything, so it's not necessarily a collection, but they were released all around the same time and they're all kind of similar to one another. But they released 5 24/7 Moondust shadows, 22 24/7 shadows, and 11 24/7 shadow sticks. Like I said, I'm struggling to talk today. Don't judge me, kids. English might be my first language, but today, it's my 73rd. They're relaunching singles for the Moondust shadows, which they had a Moondust palette several years ago, and I don't remember what the consensus was on that palette. I think people enjoyed them. I think. I don't know. I don't remember. And then with the single shadows, the 24/7 shadows, they are completely redoing like their regular single shadows with these. Like they're in new packaging and a lot of the colors are the same. Like I know when I was looking at the swatches, I recognize like quite a few of the shades that are available, like Blackout, Mushroom. They kept like some of like the classic shades, and then they obviously have like newer shades as well, and they look nice and all, but more than likely they are just like your typical Decay shadows and whatnot, so I'm not too excited about the formula. They're not anything that I'm gonna pick up, besides they were like really expensive. Like the Moondust shadows are $22 each, and then the regular 24/7 shadows are $19, and then the shadow sticks are $26 a pop. Now I'm not much of a shadow stick person. I really don't see the appeal, for me at least. But there are some like pretty shades in here, but $26 is very steep. But the shades in here that I really like, surprisingly enough, for a neutral shade, I really do like Buffer. I don't know why, I just really like that color. And I also really like Mildew Freak. I like the name for Digitized, but well, digitalized? Okay. I grew up watching Digimon, okay? Leave me alone. I really like LSD, and I kind of like Fishbowl as well. Like, and there are also some like classic shades in here. Like one of the shades that I recognize in here is Roach. And then like Chaos and Freak. So some of these are like existing like shades that they already have within the line, or at least existing colors that they have in this particular formula now. I'm not interested in picking up any of these items here. I remember talking about this when I talked about last month that Becca had announced that they are going to be closing down in September. But I think Urban Decay is definitely struggling, because a lot of like the palettes that they released last year are now going on clearance and everything. Like because I mean like the Wired palette went on sale, and then right now, like very recently, the Stoned Vibes palette, like the full size one, went on sale. When I did last month's installment of this series, like I used like the mini Stoned Vibes palette and I liked it, but I also got that on sale. So yeah, like they're definitely struggling a bit right now. Next up, we have a launch from Hank and Henry, and this is one of 2 launches that I'm going to be talking about today. And I am talking about this launch for like one of the products, because there are 4 products in this particular launch that we're talking about. So they have released 3 blush palettes, and they are 4-pan blush palettes, and they're best for like different skin tones. Like they have one that's looks really good for like deeper skin tones, one that's like very like bright reds and everything, so I'm guessing like most skin tones can use that one. And then they have one that's like pretty traditional blush colors, and I can easily see like fair to light skin tones using them, maybe even medium skin tones getting away with some of them as well, depending on the pigmentation of them. But the thing that I am like excited about with this collection is that there are these sponges. These sponges are so stinking cute. I've been really wanting to try out this brand for quite some time. I've been following Hank and Henry long before the brand came about because I learned about him through transformations with James St. James a long ass time ago. And I remember I started following him on Snapchat and he followed me back. He hasn't watched any of my snaps, but then again, I'm not very active on Snapchat to begin with. But still, the fact that he followed me back on Snapchat is very strange to me. He's a really cool person and I love his tattoos, and I'm really interested in trying out his brand, especially with the other launch that we're going to be talking about from him in this video. I really want to try out that guy, but we'll get to that once we get to that. Next up, we have a new installment of the Birthstones collection from BH Cosmetics, and this was for Aquamarine, which is for the month of March. I'm really curious about what they're going to be doing for June, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be boring, but I still want to know. I think my birthstone is Pearl, but they might have changed it because I think they've changed like birthstones in recent years. But I remember when I learned about birthstones, mine was Pearl, and it's just, again, like June and Gemini get shit stuff. So yeah, but anyways, this is Aquamarine, and I'm gonna be very blunt here. I do not care for this palette at all. It's a cute color story, but at the same time, it is really boring to me because it's just a couple of neutrals with some pastels. We have one of two launches from Jaclyn Cosmetics that I'm going to be talking about today, and this is the base collection pretty much that they launched. They launched blush and bronzer duos, and there are 7 different shades here. And then we have, let's see, single highlighters. And I believe like all the shades that are in these single highlighters were originally in like her highlighter palette that she released. I think she only had but one. She might have had a couple of them. I don't know. I don't really keep up with this brand at all, but I know that some people are interested in it. And then there's also a loose highlighter as well. And these products are pretty pricey. Like the loose highlighter is $24, the singles are $29, and the duos are $36. And I know that there was like a little bit of drama that came about with the duos and everything, that when it came to like the lighter shades, they all look pretty similar to one another when they're swatched and whatnot, that they're also quite sheer. But I mean, I know like for me, when it comes to like blush and bronzer products, I do prefer that they are a little bit more on the sheer side, because that means you can build them up and you can't get something really intense and heavy. Like me, I am wearing blush today, but it's a neutral tone blush and it's very buildable, it's soft and whatnot. I'm not a powder highlight person to begin with anymore, because I prefer like cream liquid highlighters, or like whatever the Diamond Bomb formula is from Fenty. I'm wearing How Many Carats today. I mean, it's the highlighter I've been wearing for like the past several months. I really want to get Rose Rave. I really want to get it, and I'm going to get it once the Sephora sale happens, which I think I'm still VIB, I think. So I'll be able to get 15% off. So yeah, hopefully I'm still VIB. I don't know if I am. I might be back to just regular Insider, but either which way, I'm going to get it when the discounts arrive. I'm not going to get any of these face products though, because I've talked about this before. I am not a fan of like powder products. Next up, we have a collection from e.l.f. Cosmetics, and this is the e.l.f. X Chipotle Collection. This is really cute and really campy and fun. I am not going to get this at all. If I were to get anything, it would probably be like the sponge duo, because it is so stinking cute. Like the extra guac face sponge set. Like one of them is shaped like an avocado, and then the mini one is shaped like an avocado pit. It's so stinking cute. The eyeshadow palette and the gloss, I'm not interested in either of those. I'm very new to the world of gloss, so it's not really something that I want to like go out and get a lot of stuff of. Especially in like brighter colors like this. And then like the eyeshadow palette, although it's fun and everything and it's an interesting color story, I've seen some people use it and the results aren't that exciting. Next up we have a collection from Uoma Beauty, and this is the Coming to America 2 collection. And this is a collaboration that they did with the film, and it's really interesting. It's a really cool collection. There's a lot of different stuff in here. We got 2 9-pan palettes, a 10-pan palette. I believe it's a highlighter palette is what this other one is. Yes, and then we got 3 bullet lipsticks and then 2 eyeliners, retractable liners. I don't think I'm gonna get anything from this collection just simply because none of the items really called to me, but this is a really fun collab here. It's really interesting and it's also really different. Next up we have a launch from Haus Labs, which is Lady Gaga's brand, and they have launched the Edge Precision Brow Pencils, and this comes in 13 shades, which for brow pencils, that's a really good shade selection, because I have noticed when it comes to brow products, it's usually like lighter hair people and redheads get excluded a lot, especially redheads. And I've also seen like with a lot of like brow lines that are out there, they usually come anywhere from like 6 to 9 shades usually. So the fact that this has 13 is really nice. The price is a bit steep. They're 20 bucks, but I'm really curious about this. I haven't seen anybody talk about these guys yet. I'm not entirely sure when they launched. They launched at the beginning of the month and I haven't heard anybody talk about them. But then again, I feel like this is a brand that has a very niche audience, because I feel like a lot of people within the beauty space on YouTube just aren't really that interested in this brand for whatever reason, which is so confusing to me because it's Lady Gaga. But at the same time, I kind of understand why, because when you think of Lady Gaga, you think of like really exciting, crazy, wild, wacky stuff and everything, and yet the brand isn't really reflecting that. Next up we have a new launch from a brand that I've heard of before, but I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it, and that is Necromancy Cosmetica, and this is the Gothic Romance Pressed Pigment and Eyeshadow Palette. Now this color story is really interesting. It's really pretty. I really do like it. The packaging though does make me a little bit nervous. It's cool packaging, but I do worry that it's probably going to be something a little too bulky for me. So I'm not sure if I would pick it up, but I do really like the color story in it. And also it's a bit pricey as well. It's $42 for an 8-pan palette. I mean, yeah, it has really interesting packaging, but still it's a bit up there. But then again, they're also a very indie brand, so it also makes sense in that degree. Like I said, like I haven't really heard much of anything about this brand. Have you guys heard about this brand? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below, because I am curious about trying them. And like this promo photo that I have here for this palette looks so good. It makes me think of the music video for Lace by Bellamort. I love that song so much. It's so good, and the music video is absolutely stunning. If you've never heard of them before, highly recommend them. They're a really good Gothic metal band. Okay, so next up we have a launch from a makeup artist brand, and this is the first launch from the brand, and it is the Beautopsy palette from Hindash Cosmetics. So Hindash is apparently a very well-known makeup artist. I've never heard of him before, but then again, I don't really keep up with like celebrity makeup artists, and I also don't keep up with like big name makeup artists really either. I used to, but the only big names that I really know are within like the SFX makeup world, because I was really into Face Off growing up. So yeah, but anyways, this palette, this color story is really interesting because this is a color gradient palette. There are 6 pans in here and they all have a color gradient to them, which I find to be super interesting. I'll also say this, looking at this and like the packaging and just like what's in here, it's very obvious that this is a brand created by a very successful working makeup artist. Because I mean, like when you look at like these like big makeup artists owned and created brands like Charlotte Tilbury, Pat McGrath, Linda Helbig. Well, is Linda Helbig a makeup artist? I don't know. Like Scott Barnes, Kamina Kwan. I know he's not cruelty free, but he's iconic. He's legendary. So you have to include him in. Same thing goes for Pat McGrath. And also Patrick Ta. Like, these are like very like well-known makeup artists that a lot of people know about. And when you look at their lines and the products they have available and just look at the packaging and the items that they have available and whatnot, it's very obvious that this is a brand created by a makeup artist. It's very obvious. Same thing goes for Makeup by Mario. Like, it's very obviously a brand created by a very successful working makeup artist. The packaging is very simple, basic, sleek, and easy to work with and easy to digest, so that way like working artists can use it and be able to use it very easily. And I'll also mention this about this palette, and that is that it is at a price point that is very common with brands that are owned by these very successful makeup artists, and that this palette goes for $70. That is very steep, but at the same time, I kind of understand it because, again, successful makeup artist brand. Secondly, this is very innovative. This is a very innovative palette. I have never seen an eyeshadow palette like this. I can't remember who it was, but there was a brand sometime back that had these like face palettes that had like a blush that faded into a highlighter that faded into a bronzer. And I don't remember what brand it was, but they had those products available, and I haven't seen anything like that since that brand did that. That item never got any good reviews. People trashed that product a lot because it just wasn't a good formula. But I'm really interested in this, and the fact that this is also a multitasking product as well, because it's said to be able to be used as eyeshadow, eyeliner, contour, highlight, blush, and bronzer. So it's a multi-purpose product. I'm really curious as to how big this palette is, because with the claims of everything that this palette is capable of doing, it needs to be a really big palette, or at least the pans need to be a decent size to be able to fit like certain brushes into it. I'm very intrigued by it. I don't think I'll ever get anything from this brand because $70 for a palette is a bit much for me, but I am curious about it. Next up, we have a launch from Melt Cosmetics, and they have launched some cream blushes, and there are, how many shades? I think there are 8 shades in this. Yes, there are 8 shades. And I'm really curious about these. I, again, haven't really heard anybody talk about these, but like I talked about earlier, I am a big fan of cream products, and so I'm really curious about these. The post that I have here doesn't have the prices listed anywhere, but knowing Melt, they're probably going to be close to around like $20-30, somewhere in that price range probably. So yeah, I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for reviews and whatnot, and I really like the colors that they have selected here, because I feel like they skew a bit more neutral in tone, which I like. So I'm really curious about it. Next up, we have a new launch from Natasha Denona, and this is the Circo Loco palette. Now, this is a palette that was like teased like a month and a half ago, I think, maybe 2 months ago, but it is finally making its way to like the masses and everything, because I think it initially was released in Europe, but now it's being released everywhere. And I must say, this palette is very chaotic and low-key ugly. Another collection from ColourPop, and this one I'm going to be very quick and brief with as well, because kind of similar to that Natasha Denona palette, this is a collection that I am definitely not interested in. Like, aside from the packaging, I love the packaging and I love the theme of this collection. It is not for me. Next up, we have a new collection from Trixie Cosmetics, which I know last month I roasted them for the daytime realness collection, but this is the Back to the Fuchsia collection, and in here we have a Back to the Fuchsia blush palette. There are 2 sparkles, which are her loose glitters that are ice safe, I believe. then there are 4 lip glosses, and then we have a blush brush. This is a cute little collection, but the colors here aren't for me. So we got another ColourPop collection here, and this is their collaboration with Lizzie McGuire. This is such an interesting collaboration. I did not see this coming, and it is so cute. I grew up watching Lizzie McGuire. It was my bread and butter as a kid, and I really love that show so much. And I'm low-key interested in getting the palette from this collection, even though I am most definitely sure I'm not going to use it that much at all, if at all, period. But the nostalgia is really hitting me hard with this. They've done some like Disney collaborations that have like piqued my interest and everything because of nostalgia, but I'm like, I can live without it. But this, I am finding really hard to resist. So next up we got a new launch from Fenty, and they have come out with their own tinted moisturizers essentially. And this is the Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tints. And this product goes for $29.50, which is a very interesting price point to have this at. You don't generally see brands like putting like 50 cents on products and everything, especially with higher end brands like this. But I'm guessing they're doing it to like compete with the market, since a lot of brands that have been releasing tinted moisturizers have been going from like $29 to like $30. In true Fenty fashion, they didn't release like 8 shades or 12 shades like a lot of brands have been doing with tinted moisturizers. No, they have released 25 shades of this shit. It launched a couple of days ago as of when I'm filming this, and I'm really interested to see what people have to say about this product, because the claims on it are very interesting and have me intrigued. Only thing that I am a little bit worried about though is that I'm not sure what shade I would be in this. For this, I'm not entirely sure what shade I would be. I don't know if I would need to be shade 1 or shade 3. And the reason why I say that is because I worry that shade 1 is going to be way too pale for me. I think that shade 3 is going to have the right undertone for me, but might be too dark. So I really don't know what shade I would need to be in this foundation. Alright, so next up we got a collaboration that is very interesting, but also extremely chaotic. And this is the Nyx and Tetris Collection. This is so chaotic. So in here we have 2 lip kits, and they are a lip kit with a buttery lip gloss and a slim lip pencil in the shades Angel Food Cake and Praline. And then we have the Epic Liner Kit, which comes with 5 different shades in white, blue, light blue, pink, and yellow. But the big bad boy of this collaboration is the Tetris Jumbo Shadow Palette, and it comes with 80 shades in this freaking palette. It's $45. I live for chaotic shit, okay? I love chaos, but this is the type of chaos that I am not down with. Like, we're getting into a stage within the beauty space where a lot of people are really enjoying like smaller, more concise palettes. This palette is the absolute opposite of that. Here is the other product launch from Hank and Henry, and I don't think they have like a proper like photo of this palette. I don't think they do. So I'll pop up like a screen recorded video for this particular video that they have on their Instagram. But this palette is so cool. This is a collaboration between Bianca Loves Makeup 91 and it is the tie-dye collection. And this eyeshadow palette, it is so pretty, it's so cute, and these colors are just screaming to me. Like, yeah, there are some shades in here that are similar to one another, but the undertones are different, and it's just such a good color gradient for a rainbow palette. And there's like a regular orange shade in here too, and it's just, ooh. I am so intrigued. I'm so curious. Like, this might be the first product that I ever get from this brand, because I've been wanting to get like a rainbow palette for some reason. I don't know why. I just have been. And this palette is really calling to me, and I really want to try it. I don't know how much it's going for, but it is 100% cruelty free and 100% vegan. Next up we have the second launch from Jaclyn Cosmetics that I was going to be talking about. And this is her liquid lipstick and lip liner collection that she has launched and everything. So in here we have 15 liquid lipsticks that go for $20 each, and then there are 12 lip liners that go for $18. These are all nudes, which I mean isn't that exciting, but considering that I know this lip might say otherwise, I've been getting into nudes lately and it's kind of throwing me for a loop a little bit. I'm still doing like really dramatic eye looks, don't worry. This crazy shit ain't going anywhere. I am really into a lot of these colors that are available. The only thing is though is that I've only heard one person besides Jaclyn talk about these guys, and that was Manny MUA, and he actually went in on these liquid lipsticks and everything. Like, him and Jaclyn are friends, and he went in on these liquid lipsticks. I was just like, they're really sticky and dry. With me, I'm very, very particular about liquid lipsticks. I only have but 5 different formulas. I have one still in my collection from a formula that I absolutely despise, but I'm holding on to it just simply because I want to keep it for like swatching and everything, so that way I can find like a good alternative for it and whatnot, and a formula that I enjoy. And then like another one of them, like the 4th formula that I have, I only have one shade in it, but I do want to get more in that particular line though. But the ones that I have multiple liquid lipsticks in that particular line are Sugar Pill, which I have I think 7 or 8 of their liquid lipsticks now, and then I have some from KVD. I think I have maybe 5 or 6 of those, and then my 6 Anastasia liquid lipsticks, which by the way, I'm wearing Antisocialite from Sugar Pill right now. Really nice color. Very picky and selective about liquid lipstick formulas, and the ones that I have, I really enjoy it, except for that one. That one that I don't like is the NYX Lip Lingerie formula. It's so dry, but Push Up is just one of my favorite nudes, and I need like a good alternative for it. Even if it's like an expensive alternative, I need an alternative for it. But yeah, I'm not gonna get anything from this collection though. If she releases like bullet lipsticks, I will probably go after those. But after like Lipstick Gate, I don't think she will ever release bullet lipsticks ever again. But I hope that she does, because I heard really good things about that formula, aside from like the defects and everything. And last launch that we have here is from One Size Beauty, which is Patrick Starr's brand, and they have launched the Turn Up the Base Versatile Powder Foundation. It is described to be a buttery smooth, buildable, medium to full coverage powder foundation with a multi-use formula, a soft matte finish, and up to 12 hours of wear. It's $33 and comes in 32 shades. My dry as a biscuit ass is staying far away from this shit. Powder products, like I mentioned earlier, not for me. Powder foundation, especially, not for me. I will say this, I do like the packaging on the component. I think it's really interesting, but I feel like One Size is going to be a brand that just isn't going to get far outside of Patrick's fan base. I just don't hear a lot of people talking about this brand at all, outside from like his friend group and his fan base and everything. Like, it's just not a brand I really hear about at all. I'm a little bit like iffy about how I feel about Patrick Starr right now anyways, because of just like how aggressive he was with like defending Nikita for like not being safe during the pandemic Lovato, and it just really rubbed me the wrong way that he responded that way. And that is it for Am I Gonna Buy This for the month of March. Like I mentioned before, there were quite a few launches that we talked about today, and a lot of interesting stuff was launched and announced for the month of March. Have you picked up any of the items that were launched during the month of March? Did you like them? Did you not like them? Or did you anti-haul some of these items? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd be interested to have a conversation about some of these items, because there are some items in here that I am interested in picking up, but I have no clue what to expect. Especially when it comes to Necromancy Cosmetica and Hank and Henry. Have you guys tried out any of their products? Let me know in the comments below, because I am very interested in trying out both of those brands. But that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until I see you guys on my next one, whenever the hell that may be, goodbye.